Oh. What am I going to talk about online? Well, here's I'm walking towards the restaurant, and I'm looking at ways to walk every day, and I'm looking at the cars, and just too much cars. There's just way too many cars. So I'm also looking at the sun heat and what you and I can do to fix the sun heat, the driving, and also to fix the world for walking, for standing, sitting, laying down, walking. You can't do that right now because there's too much problems. You know, there might be one problem, maybe just all of these negative situations, and nine of the things that you have are pretty good in the world. But you know what they're doing right now is they're focusing on one of the major problems, and it's always on your head. You're always worried about that, and you're always concerned about that. So you end up walking maybe 10, 20 minutes a day when you should walk for a couple hours. So, for example, I'm working on 10 human rules, and what I wrote the 10 rules. You have 10 fingers. You write 10 rules. I posted it online, and I learned that 9 of the things are really good in the world, like fresh air, the ability to walk, the ability to see, really cool, really nice places to live, good housing. You have good families, good people, good students, good teachers, all that stuff. You have good jobs for the main part, but there's that one part of this that is wrong. One thing that's always wrong in your 10 fingers. So you have 9 fingers that are good, one finger that may be wrong, one item that may be wrong. That one item, that's what we have to focus on. But it's just, how bad is that one item? It's so bad that you and I you can't do your normal work. It's so bad that you and I can't do the normal day-to-day work. You and I can't go to a normal job. You can't have a normal family. You may not even have a normal girlfriend and boyfriend. You may not have a normal wife and husband. You may not have normal living because the one thing that's negative keeps popping up, it's always there. For example, I'm just walking here, and you can hear. Let me show you real quick. Let me show the cars real quick. So I'm just walking by my house, and I can walk by my house from my home, but as soon as I walk, there's so much noises, there's a lot of traffic, there's a lot of cars, and the cars doesn't let you walk. So most of the people are stuck at home. So most of the people are stuck at home, and they don't come out very much because the car is so loud. It's a scary experience for people. So that you don't get to walk too much. And what's happening is, as soon as you come out of the house, you feel safer from the tires and car. You just go from one door from your house to the next door to your car, and that takes the entire experience of living. The ability to walk from your door, to walk to the neighborhood, to walk to the park, or walk. I'm going to show you, like, walking here. You see how I'm able to walk on the curb here, but you know, I like to walk more than this. I'm here walking just you know, for myself about an hour or 2 hours a day. Then so what I do is I will come to the shade here, but and just stand for a little bit here, or I'll sit down at I'll show you the seat that the bench I sit at. Sometimes I may go to the park as well, but I'm worried that most people, they don't care about this curb. See, that's the curb. Most people don't want just a curb lifestyle, and I'm usually not for the curb itself, because there's you know, because there's 4, 5, 8 lanes here. We like to let everybody walk on the lanes where the car is. See where it says bike lane? Then it has the normal street has like 4 or 5 lanes. Well, that's what the car takes right now. The vehicle takes those lanes from us, and you and I basically need to walk on those lanes. That's your lane. Now it does look, there is cement there is asphalt there, there's all types of, the road is really built for cars. But that's easy. You and I can put some kind of a sand on there or asphalt, and the car really we have to remove the cars. You and I have to remove the cars. We have to remove all the vehicles. You should have no cars or bikes, or you should have no motorcycles. You should have no bicycles even. You should just walk in the city that you live in. And you can also sit down on the city. There'll be plenty of benches. And you know, we should have a more chance for you to sit down outside. Now, when you walk outside, generally there's no bench, there's no seating, there's no sitting, and the city is about sitting. So you should sit more. We gotta discuss all that. You know, what I'm looking at is you see this whole area right now is made for a car. Sometimes there's more roads and streets for a vehicle than there is for a person. So basically, you go to your house, you may live with your family, you stay there, you eat, and you go to sleep. And in the morning, you gotta go from your door to your job, to your education, to your college or university, or sometimes you get a ride to your school, high school, or you have a job. And most of the time when we go to work as adults, you have to get into the car, you have to use the car. And that's illegal. I believe that's illegal, because you're going to get injured, the tire may pop, you may hurt yourself, you may break your legs in a car accident, you may break somebody else's legs, or if somebody's walking, you may have severe health problems. On the car itself, on some of the cars itself, they actually have on the newer cars, they have on the sticker, as soon as you buy the car, they have a sticker that says warning. It says warning, and the first sentence that says is warning, cars may cause cancer. Cars may cause cancer. So that's what we have to determine. How much cancer does the car actually cause? We need to find out about that, because there's a cancer from the car's smog. There's a cancer from the car's smoke. There's all the gasoline and the stuff that you pour inside the car, and then going 60 miles, 70 miles an hour, that causes cancer. We have to determine just what that means. Also, the word cancer, the word cancer, if you have a chance to look at the word cancer, C-A-N-C-E-R, cancer has the word car, C-A-R. And we need to determine just how much cancer, like I said, how much cancer does the car really give us? So people, I don't even see them outside walking anymore. It's like there's some kind of a fear, there's an emergency. People only rely on the cars. And if you notice, the tire itself is so small. It's like the tire itself is smaller than you, and you're like sitting down. Here's where I sit down usually. You can, after walking, you can sit down for a few minutes. I'm gonna sit down for just a few minutes. So what I was saying is, if you sit down here and you look at the cars, if you look at the vehicles here, you can tell pretty much there's everything that there's something wrong with the cars. You can tell that there's electricity that's forming, and it's hurting you. You can tell that there's the car has more loud noises than you do. You and I don't even speak that loud. You know, we're outside all the time, and a person is not able to speak that much outside because the car takes your speech. So you hear a lot about the car, and you and I aren't even able to focus. You get headaches. You may you may develop toe problems. You may develop some headaches. You may develop you may develop a lot of fear. It's possible you develop a lot of fear just from the ground itself. You don't want to walk at the ground. You don't want to even see the ground. You just want to enter the ground and sit down and drive a car. You may develop fear of walking, and that's unfortunate because, you know, for the human to have the quality of life, for human to have the ability to, for people to have the ability to walk, sit, stand, lay down, for the ability to see, you and I have to be able to see, and the ability to speak. You and I have to walk every day, and we can't walk because the car, you and I aren't able to walk. So the human life ability is taken from us when we drive a car. You know, the person should sit down like you see how I'm sitting. So I'm sitting right now outside, and generally there's not that much time for us to sit outside. The city right now is not designed for you to sit down outside. Right now, people aren't designed to sit down outside too much. You and I are, we're told that we should, you know, keep driving a car, you may have a bicycle, keep working on the wheels. And the wheels is not really that's not part of your leg. And so we want you to focus on that. You know, why is it called a wheelchair? I'm sitting on the chair here, and the chair is not moving. The chair is firm, bolted on the ground here, because it's like a rock chair here in Laguna Niguel, California, and the chair doesn't move. In your house, you may have a chair. This could be called a bench or a chair. You may have a bench or a chair at home. It doesn't move. And when you're inside the car, the human functions is reduced because the chair that you're sitting in the car, that moves. So the human function to sit down, to relax, to watch nature, to just be yourself on this chair, that's all destroyed with the car. Because you don't have, this is a chair, this is where you sit down, and it's not supposed to move. So I'm gonna go ahead. I can talk for hours about this issue. I'm gonna try to talk about 30 minutes about this issue. What I want to do is, I'm sitting in front of an intersection in the city of Laguna Niguel. When I see some cars, I'm gonna go ahead and show that to you, just to see how the cars look like. I'm gonna go ahead and look at the cars, just see what it looks like. And as I'm speaking, I'm gonna show you the vehicles. Let's see if we can get some of the cars here. All right, you can see that there's a lot of vehicles here, and that's the car takes you the person's legs. You don't get to walk on the road. That road has plenty of room for people to walk. Okay, let's say we have 100 people that will walk here on the roads. On the same road, we'll have about 100 people to walk. Okay, 100 people a day. That's better than the vehicle taking the road. That's much more comfortable than the vehicle taking the road. And because the car takes the person's hands, the car takes the person's legs and ability to see, the car takes the person's ability to reason. The car has loud music, and you can't reason. You're not able to think very well. And the car also takes the person's ability to have a good posture and sit down normal. The vehicle takes a lot of our abilities to there's a lot of abilities that the vehicle takes from us. I think that there's a good possibility that you and I can handle these problems, because it's a new millennium. You and I can do a lot of things about the vehicle. It's a brand new millennium. So the millennium just started the year 2000, and now it's 2019, and the millennium goes all the way to the year 2003 to 3000. That's really your millennium. That's your millennium. That's you and I are in charge of the millennium. The whole millennium is yours. So because you and I are able, we're functioning people, we're able to read and write, you and I can make new laws for the millennium, and it's your millennium. This is your 1,000 years. This is your millennium. You can do whatever you like with the millennium that you want, and all it takes is just 10 human laws, or you may have 20 laws, you may have 30 laws, 40 laws, and you will write the rules. It's so simple that you just write 10 rules, for example, that I was talking about earlier, and with the 10 rules, you would write 9 things that are good. You write 9 things that are positive, something that you like. For example, you like to have one nation map, you like to have one world map, for example. And you would also then write things like the second one, you want a good human health. You want to be able to, you want to be able to sit down, walk, sit down, lay down, enjoy your life. Do you want to sit outside? Do you want to sit out inside? You want to discuss things like about the park itself, things like that. You want to discuss things about air and weather. What kind of weather do you like? So, and then you would also write that that's like number 2. Number 3, for example, I have this posted online. I'm going to show you. I've got this posted online right here. So basically, that's this is the human rules. This is the human rules. You can write a couple pages, 1 to 2 pages. All you do is write 1 or 2 pages, and you send the pages. You'll send 1 to 2 pages to your masjid, church, or to your local city. I sent in mine to the local city of California, Laguna Niguel. The city was Laguna Niguel. And I sent my rules already, and I had a good One second. The person I was working with, I called her back. I said, "Did you receive my stuff?" She said, "Yeah, I really like it. We might even implement." Her exact words was, "She may even implement my rules," and that's wonderful. So what I'm saying is, if you send something to your city, the city that you live in Afghanistan, Kabul, Afghanistan, if you live in India, New Delhi or Bombay, if you live in China, Beijing, if you live in the Russia, Moscow, or if you live in, let's say you live in Germany, Hamburg, if you live in Paris, in France, you live in, let's say you live in any place. You may live in Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia has Medina or Jordan. I don't know the city of Jordan. I know the city of Africa, South Africa. South Africa is a city, South Africa. For example, I know Brazil, Rio de Janeiro. No matter what city you live in, I know that Canada has Vancouver. United States. You could live in Los Angeles, you can live in California, you could live in New York City, you can live any place. In Texas, Texas the state, what's a good city there in Texas? I forgot. I live in the United States. You could live anywhere. You could live in Los Angeles County, United States, or San Diego. Any city you live in Kabul city in Afghanistan. What you do is write 10 rules. You just take 1 or 2 pages and you write 10 rules with your right hand if you're right-handed, left-handed. If you're left-handed, you write with the pen, or you can write with the computer as well. But if you write with the pen, that should be fine. And then you will just turn in that information. You mail it to your city. The city has many functions. They may have the city may have a government function. The city may have a normal function, just as like nature, how to fix the nature, landscaping. The city may have landscapers. The city may have gardeners. The city may have people that put in benches like this. The city may have people that work on roads and stuff. You tell them what you want. You tell them what you like. So, and the city will work together with all the cities in the world. There might be like 1,000 cities. I don't know, thousands of cities. They work together, and we work on it and make a one nation map and new rules for the millennium. You and I can make new rules for the millennium. So it shouldn't be that hard at all. It should be easy. We're able to we're able to do this because it's a new millennium, because it's the new 1,000 years millennium. You're able to see what kind of rules you want. I mean, what kind of music do you want? Do you want loud music? Do you want? I mean, it's very simple. Do you want music that's not so loud? How many? We may have a few million people in the world. And I don't know if we have 10 million people. I don't know if we have 7,000 million people. So that's another important one. You may write about that as well. 7,000 million people. Let me on the road that I'm walking on the curb I'm walking on. There's nobody here. This is just a machine. This is just a machine car that has maybe millions of cars, but not the human body. The actual human body is what we're counting. What do you have as far as the human body? We're not looking at the trees. We're not looking at the cars. And we're just looking at the human body. How many people do we really have? The higher, the better. If we have 4 million people, that's wonderful. We may have 4 million people. My guess is we may possibly have 4 million people. That would be wonderful. If we have 10 million people, that's also very good. We may have 1 million only. That's okay. So what I'm saying is, I have here one nation. I have it sometimes 1 million, sometimes 2 million people. But it depends what you like. So you'll figure how many people you have, and you will write that and send that to the government. So on the same, you just write 10, 20 rules on the same on the rules that you think that's your opinion. You'll send that to the government, and they'll approve some of that. So it's your human rules. They'll approve how many people you want, how many people are available. They'll take a good census and let us know the exact people we have. So what I'm saying is, right now I'm noticing the car is such a big issue that I've got to come to talk about it a little bit more. Okay, so you see, our human body we got to basically look at the human body and see that person, what a person, how many people we have in the census, what kind of person, as a man or woman, and we also need 50% man, 50% woman. So for example, we may have 4 million people. You need 2 million males. You also need 2 million females. Now the human body is made very, very strong. We are able to do things that machines can't really do right now. We're able to think, we're able to sit down, stand, lay down, walk, and you can run, you can swim. The machines aren't made like that. So we're able to do a lot of things, and that's wonderful. We want to see the human function continue. We want to see that the human continues to grow. So if we're able to walk more, sit, stand, lay down, and all that stuff, if you're able to walk more on the curb, your function goes higher. Your functions and your human imagination, your human abilities, your intelligence, breathing, thinking goes a lot higher as you walk. But because it's a dangerous with the cars, You're limited to how much you walk. And what's happening is the actual human has a lot of, I mean, we have we have very healthy people. The people are doing very well. I think we need to put in more time, more energy, and making sure the person is healthier. We need to make sure people are able to continue their jobs. You're able to continue the educations. You might be going to university or college. You're able to do that. And if something is, we got to find, remember the 10 things, there's the bad thing, we have to find that, and we really have to shed that, because that interferes with your human abilities to function in today's society. There are things, real quick, I want to finish this at about 30 minutes. I've got 4 more minutes. I'm going to finish this about 30 minutes. So your abilities to function is very important. Anytime there's something that's harming you, we have to fix. The sun heat is very hot. I think the sun heat is very important that we have to fix. The sun heat may be just a switch, a temperature like your home. So you and I are able to, can I still be seen here? Okay, it's very bright here, so I'm not sure if I'm seen. On the home temperature, I think I am. You're able to change the home temperature, right? You can get it to 80 degrees, you can get it to 70 degrees, whatever you like. Well, we wanted to make a system outside that you can change the temperature outside as well, whatever temperature you like. So you're able to have a 70 Fahrenheit temperature, you're able to have an 80 Fahrenheit temperature. That's too hot. Inside the house or outside, that's too hot, right? Won't you agree that you won't put it in your normal house, you won't put it in 80 degrees Fahrenheit? You would agree with that, right? Would you put it 90 degrees or 100 Fahrenheit in your own house? If it's a normal to the whole temperature of the house? No, the entire home temperature shouldn't be 100 degrees. We probably would use a 60 Fahrenheit in a normal world of our house. We think that's about right. So you and I are going to put the 60 Fahrenheit temperature inside the house, or 70 Fahrenheit. Well, you can do the same thing outside. They probably have some technology for us to put that outside as well, where the nation or the citizens or a business, they'll change the temperature every day. We may have a minimum 40 Fahrenheit, we may have a 50 Fahrenheit, or a 60 Fahrenheit. And you would keep those temperatures every day. You keep those temperatures at the minimum 40, minimum and 50 and 60. We'll have new measurements, and that will really change the sun heat. I'll go over the sun next time. I'm not sure if we can see it. The sun heat is very, very hard for you to walk and move, and for you to even come outside. So a lot of times you're inside, you might be at the church, you might be at masjid, you might stay inside the house, or you may have a job at the education, you may have a job at 7-Eleven. You don't want to come outside when it's too hot. Today, I came outside because it's just a little cooler. It's about 75 degrees, I think. I feel it's about 75 degrees right now. It's just a little cooler, but that's still too hot. If we can get the normal temperature about 70 degrees here, and always have the control by the people to change it up and down the way we like, then we should be fine. For your home, we do the same thing every day for your home. You put the temperature higher and lower all the time. So we can do the same thing here outside. You'll have a better temperature. So that's another thing. Another thing I want to just, I just have a few more minutes here. So another thing I want to focus on is the plant itself real quick. I'm walking on the grass here. I'm walking on the grass. Let's see if I can be seen here. The shade. Yeah, I'm over 30 minutes. I'm just gonna go maybe 40 minutes. How about 40 minutes? Well, I'm at a shade part. Another thing I was gonna discuss that's very important is since I have about 40 minutes or 50 minutes, this is my first time here. I don't know how long I get on here. I'm gonna try to keep it below 1 hour. So here's an important thing I was gonna discuss is the plants. So you see the flowers here? These flowers are, and the plants and the grass and the tree, I don't think it's life. I don't think it's life. So we have to understand that it's very nice, it's beautiful, it looks nice, but I don't think it's life. You see, there's a good church here too where I'm walking. I'll show that to you as well. This is a pretty funny church. I came here once, the day before the Christmas. I came here to send my rolls last year, in the year 2018. So that's your church there. It's a nice church. So here, I came back to this other area. They have, it's a little bit quieter away from the cars. Now I'm going to discuss just the plants real quick. There's a lot of nice plants here. There's, let's see, very nice grass I can describe to you. There's very nice bushes, very, very good looking green and green grass. There's some good rocks. Let's see, they have some dead type of grass or dead type of leaves and stuff. But what I'm saying is that, let me, I'm gonna look at the church real quick as well. So basically these churches and masjid and religion is about this 10 human rules, or 40, however, how many you want. And what I think is happening is we have to determine, are these plants live, for example. We have to determine if we want the cars on the city or not. You and I have to determine those things. And it's not so hard. We can do it with 10 rules. I have it written, I'll discuss it. But what I was gonna say is the plant life? That's not life. Let me show you what I was talking about.